to live. Children of the Corn. A new kind of nightmare. An adult nightmare. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. Rated R.
Coming Friday. Check local newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
Halloween's coming. What are you going to do about it? Whether you do a little or a lot, be an original this Halloween and find yourself at Hallmark.
Hallmark has a way.
And at participating Hallmark stores, get your hands on the spooky soundscape, full of creepy sounds and Halloween theme songs. $1.95 with any $5 Hallmark purchase, only at participating Hallmark stores. It's a scream.
The Halloween Hall of Fame will continue after these messages.
The Halloween experts at Magic Manor have everything you'll need this year, including actual character masks from famous motion pictures. And they can show you the proper application of makeup to impress that special someone. Magic Manor's professional hand-painted custom masks start as low as $250. This Halloween, remember Magic Manor. Wigs, masks, makeup, costumes, shockingly authentic. Magic Manor, East Wind Mall.
Hey, Ronald, what are those things you're wearing?
My trick-or-treat safety cups. They're shiny aluminum foil with bright orange stripes, so they reflect light.
Neat! Where'd you get them?
Right at McDonald's. This Halloween, be sure you're all wearing McDonald's trick-or-treat safety cups. Children should be seen and not hurt.
Make Halloween fun with one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-size candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Woolco.
This Halloween, give the safe treat
Thank you.
that helps treat the disabled.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons.
Thank you.
Good for special treats at local stores and restaurants.
Thank you.
Give Easter Seal safe Halloween coupons
Thank you.
and give the treat that gives treatment.
Thank you.
Safe Halloween booklets are now available at these fine stores. Support a safe Halloween for children everywhere.
Halloween's a perfect time for baking
Spooky cookies! Just roll out Pillsbury sugar cookies, cut, bake and decorate, then feed them to your goblins! So much fun, they're scary!
This Halloween, capture your ghosts and goblins on genuine Kodak film from Thrifty. Whether it's print, slide, or movie film, Kodak is the choice of professionals. Thrifty carries a full line of Kodak film, including C126-24 exposure, C110 and C135 24 exposure in regular and high-speed print film, KR135 36 exposure slide film, and Super 8 movie film. Remember, the sharper you want your memories, the more you need Kodak film and Thrifty.
My most perfect creation! Gee, I'll have to do something about that fit.
Introducing Spooky Goop, horrifying monster makeup you make up at home. Spooky Goop's hobbling lizard lips, backbones, and toes create a ghoulish goo that makes a monster out of you.
Now that's a face no mother could love.
Spooky Goop, spine-tingling makeup for Halloween or any unearthly occasion.
I just had the greatest idea. Let's spend the night. Fun house.
This better be good.
It's gonna be great.
Something is alive in the funhouse. Something deadly. Something evil.
I don't know what that thing is.
Something that tonight will turn the funhouse into a carnival of terror. The Funhouse, rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Trick or treat!
Last year, one of everyone's favorite candies appeared in a Halloween-sized pack.
Skittles.
And word spread quickly.
Is this the house that gives Skittles? See, I told ya.
I, Speedy McGreedy, have created Frankenstein Mouth.
I want juicy burgers.
We'll go to Hardee's.
The burgers are juicy and hearty.
Right, Ivan. Hardee's Sharp Royalson.
Let's say hello to Hardy.
It's Halloween time. When you buy a burger and soft drink at Hardee's, you get a coin to put in the fun machine, which gives you a Halloween prize.
I got a creepy crawly Halloween thing. I got a Halloween ring.
The fun machine at participating Hardee's.
Wednesday, it's a hair-raising Halloween happening. Catchy beginning. First, that Emmy-winning Fat Cat. It's the trick-or-treat trail.
I'm no scaredy cat.
It's all new Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Then,
I hear the Great Pumpkin.
the Halloween classic, It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, right after Garfield, Wednesday.
Toys R Us has the Big Bird Halloween costume and the Yoda Halloween costume for trick-or-treating. What strange...
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast. It is the 1 year anniversary. Let me fix this up so that way I can get situated, my friends. It is the 1 year anniversary of the Scene Snobs channel. Thank you all so much for the support throughout this year. I'm so excited. I have a very special guest host tonight. And it is, as you probably well know, because he hosts quite a bit of things, especially on the Scene Snobs. Mr. Rob Gotcher, how you doing, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you celebrating the 1 year anniversary with me.
Of course. I was happy to.
Now, if you guys don't know Rob, and I'm sure you do, Rob is the host of Rob Paints the Movies on Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m.
And he is also my co-host on the Behind the Box podcast, which are Cult Classics podcast, on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. So
7:30s.
Yeah, we do have 7:30. I find that's a really fun time for people. I think people like that time frame.
Yeah.
Not too late. Everybody can still like watch their TV after they're done enjoying our entertaining mess, if you will. I've even kicked around the idea of this going earlier. Because now that it started at 9:30. I don't know if you remember reminiscing when we started going live at the beginning of quarantine to kind of help entertain with no new stuff coming out. 9:30 seemed to be a good time at that point.
Yeah.
I think everything was very up in the air for people. I think 9:30 was like people were staying up later, so they were like, okay, this works, this helps.
Yeah.
Put the kids to bed and it's fine. But now that there's more of a structure with school starting back up and everything else, I think that 7:30 mark is a good thing.
Yeah, most people are getting back to work, thankfully. But it just it seems like 7:30 was our sweet spot, at least for Behind the Box and Rob Paints the Movies. So if you want to move this earlier, I'm sure it would work too.
Yeah, I'm going to kick around the idea a little bit more because I have some other ideas too. There's so many ideas for the channel. So I don't know if this will even be a evening show soon enough. That's all I'm going to say. That's your hint for the 1 year anniversary, people. And it might not be a 1 day show. Okay, that's literally.
I'm trying to act surprised, but I mean, we talk behind the scenes, so I know what's going on.
I know, yeah. Well, come on, you still gotta pretend. You gotta pretend, man.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I'll be the Kathy Lee and just act like I don't know what's going on. What? Oh.
Well, I have to ask you, man. First of all, shut up. You're a Kelly Ripa if I ever saw one.
No, I am definitely a Kathy Lee. I grew up on Kathy. I grew up on Regis and Kathy Lee. I don't know. I still call it that, even though it's Ryan and Kelly, or Kelly and Ryan. I don't know.
Yeah, it is Kelly and Ryan now. She went through some hosts, man. Michael Strahan couldn't get out of there quick enough. The scuttlebutt on that is that he wanted to go to Good Day America so that way he can prep and get ready to co-host this show in the future. That's his dream, I guess.
The Scene Snobs?
The Scene Snobs podcast. Michael Strahan, since playing for the Giants, was like, if I'm going to do anything in life, if there's going to be any accomplishments in life, I'm going to take this journey to be the ultimate co-host with Mick Manhattan on the Scene Snobs podcast. You can take that to the bank. That was said on TMZ, and it must be true.
I wonder if he actually has a podcast. He's got to, right?
I would imagine he does. And he should. I mean, I feel like, well, maybe he doesn't actually. Does he really need one? He does a morning show 5 days a week, and that's like a 4-hour show.
Yeah, but it's like, look at Ryan Seacrest. I mean, he overextends himself for everything. He's got the morning show, the radio show. He produces the Kardashian stuff. American Idol when it was on. I mean,
yeah, man, he's a nutcase, man. He works so hard. I model my work ethic after him, so that's why I'm so crazy. And you can say that because it's true. All right, so what do we got here? We got some comments. Ariel, hey dudes, congratulations! Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Rob has been along for this journey for quite some time now, and
yeah,
he is Scene Snobs family through and through, and so are all of you, really. But I got to give Rob top tier status, not because he's better than all of you, but because he has gaslighted me the whole way, and I truly believe that. I truly believe that he is just the top tier because he is gaslighted.
I'm wearing what I believe is the first shirt I ever wore on one of the podcasts. I'm pretty sure it was my Kevin Owens shirt for the wrestling.
I do remember that. Yes, because you wore it on the when we had it, the 20-minute wrestling podcast. Yeah.
And I think I said fantastic 100 times. And
I think you're undershooting that. I think you're undershooting the fantastic. I think 99% of the words out of your mouth was fantastic, and the other like 1% was like Kevin Owens, and that was that. Oh, Matt Anderson, Key 13 Film Partners wants to wish you congratulations. Thank you, Key 13. I love you guys. I had a very fun time. Maybe shooting a show with you guys. We're going to keep it a secret. They're going to be my guests on the show this week.
Oh, nice. Before we continue, are you getting any of that sound static stuff?
I absolutely am, and that's on your end, sir.
So it's on when you're doing it on mine too.
And I'll go through the comments. Ariel also says, "Will night be day and day be night?" It may be. We have a lot of stuff planned for the Scene Snobs channel. Lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, you do your thing, buddy. Yeah, so we have tons of stuff going on.
Switch the internet.
Oh, go for it, bud. And Christy, you've joined us. Hey, Christy, thank you for joining in. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you for joining in. You guys are fantastic talents. Truly amazing. I mean, I'm lucky to surround myself around so many wonderful people. Well, fortunate, I should say. You guys are just so truly amazing. And I just have such a great time with you guys. But yeah, we have some great things coming up for the Scene Snobs. So yeah, it is the 1-year anniversary. I promise we're not going to talk only 1-year anniversary. Rob and I are going to get into horror movies. We can get into the fun stuff. I just want to have a fun conversation with my friend tonight. And you guys join in the comments. If you have any topics you want to throw out and want to talk about, please feel free. As you can see, we have the fancy new technology digits here on the Scene Snobs, and I can pull up your comments and we can talk about them. So feel free to join in the conversation as always. Some fun things we have planned for the rest of the year. We have lots of great interviews. I mean, my only day off from interviews from now until the 22nd is next Tuesday. And that's because it's like a day filled with appointments I have to do. But I have shows and interviews. I am interviewing before next week's show, before next week's Behind the Box podcast. I'm interviewing CJ Grant from Friday the 13th Part 6. He played Jason. He played good Jason.
Not big Jason, but the other Jason.
The other Jason. Your favorite Jason. And I am interviewing him like literally at 6 p.m. I'll finish my interview up and then go right into Behind the Box. That's the only time he had available.
That's awesome. That movie has the best kill in the franchise. The RV. No, the RV slamming in the girl in the RV wall, and you see her face. Like, oh, that's so good.
I talked to Ariel about this. There's a really cool story behind that girl. She was supposed to be either the star of this movie or the star of the movie before. I think it was the movie before, the fifth one. The girl who gets the shears in her eyes. She was like naked throughout, but she didn't want to do nudity. And when she auditioned for that, she had the role. And they told her, I just went back and rewatched it because I was talking about the Ariel documentary. And they told her that there's nudity in it the day of, and she said, "No, I'm not doing it." So they replaced her with somebody. And then she came back for the sixth one, different director, and it was fine. And she still said no nudity, and they were completely fine with it. That's why in that scene she has a shirt on. So that's it.
That's the only Friday the 13th with no nudity at all.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the fifth one that she was. You're frozen, sir, but I love you.
Oh no! Hold on.
At least you're frozen. I'm print screening this. Oh damn! I don't think I got. No, I got you. That's such a good one. So
I'm still getting that sound thing though. I don't know what it is.
I'm not getting it as much here. No, but so some things we have planned besides interviews and great shows planned. We have a very special guest coming up on Behind the Box, but I'm keeping that a secret. That's on the 21st, so it's going to be very cool. We're talking horror hosts. I am going to be interviewing so many fun people. And November, we're going to have a full slate of shows. We will be taking a break on the Thanksgiving weekend, of course, because it's Thanksgiving and I want everybody to spend time with their families. But I will be doing a full overnight live show by myself. And the reason I'm doing that is because after the kids go to bed, after Mary goes to bed, I'm going to do this and do it overnight because I know what it's like to spend the holidays by yourself. And I know how hard that could be for you. So what I want to do is I want to have an overnight show, and anybody who wants to listen, even if nobody's listening, but if you feel lonely and you want to talk, or you want to listen, you want to come on a show and talk about movies, or just have a good time and maybe try and escape the loneliness a bit, I'm going to be there for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to do that overnight into Black Friday. And that's good. I will talk more about the details as we get closer to it. But that's what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving night. So if you guys are willing to join, or you know people who may be interested, please let them know, and we will be doing that. So, and I'll try and get some guests. If you guys feel lonely enough and they want to jump in, please feel free. But let's get back to the comments because we have some good ones. I'm going to save Ariel's because it's a great question. I don't know how you guys find time to do all these shows, but I appreciate you that you do. How do I find time to do all these shows? I have a very great support system of friends. I have very great supporters that inspire me to do it. Like Rob. Like Rob's on 3 shows this week. Like out of anybody, as much as Lori's great, I love working with Lori on Behind the Box, and she does so much for the site. Len does so much for the site. My wife does so much for the site, helping out, and they are fantastic. And I could not do it without them. But legit, if I ask Rob to be on the show, this dude jumps on, and that's why I appreciate him so much. And that's why I wanted him on this show. I definitely wanted him on the 1-year anniversary. I wanted to celebrate with him. So thank you, Rob.
Oh, of course.
And you're
I find the time just because we're stuck at home. But I will no, of course I'll support. I mean, there's been a couple of times where I know you've had guests fall through, and you're just like, man, I got to do it alone. I'm like, no, I'll pop in. It's just fun. It's great to talk. I mean, and honestly, we don't really get a chance to hang out that much. So I mean, yeah, I'll make time.
You were the last
and
friend
I have a great support system too. Christina's super supportive.
Yes.
Violet's great, and Christina and I enjoy it anyway because Thursdays we get to spend together anyway. So it's
Christina has done so many cool things, and have been so helpful with the site and everything she does when Rob paints the movies with the movie trivia. Like, she knocks it out of the park. I appreciate you guys so much for your show. She does say, however, that you are suffering from a ghost. That's the problem, I think, there.
I don't know what that means.
I don't. You know what? Now it is a ghost, and I'm down with it. And we're gonna talk. Maybe we'll talk ghost stories because ghost stories are fun. Maybe we'll do a seance. You want to do a seance live on the air?
No. I watched the movie. What was it? Host or whatever. No, I'm good.
Come on, it'll be great. We'll turn out the lights. We will not say the P word.
Oh my God, no way. It's an hour long and it's terrifying.
Ariel had a great topic to talk about. She goes, okay, best horror movie anthologies, go. I mean, Tales from the Dark Side. We just did Twilight Zone last week, which was a good one.
It's weird. They're all tales for me. Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, and Tales from the Hood. I mean, it's those 3 for me. But I mean, Tales from the Crypt is a show, but
still amazing.
Yeah, it's those 3 for me. And modern stuff, I do appreciate American Horror Story a lot.
Yeah, it is a cool show. I like that. And I want to talk to you about Ratchet because I know you watched it. I watched it too.
I did.
But before we do, I do want to mention like VHS. VHS was a pretty good one. I like it.
The first one was great. The second one was okay. The third one was terrible. Like I could not get into the third one.
I didn't even go past the second one, and I didn't even really enjoy the second one as much. Like the first one had that feel of it with the kids breaking in and watching the VHS tapes, and then they had to go into a storyline for the second one. I was like, I don't care.
I like the Bat story, the Batwoman story, or I guess she's a vampire or whatever she is, but she's like turning into a bat in the hotel room. Oh, that's so good.
Her eyes are just creepy as hell in that. Yeah, that was a really good one. 80 Seas of Death was pretty good. I mean, it was really just a matter of shorts, but I dug it. I thought not every one of them, but a lot of them I did.
And Trick or Treat, I guess you would call a horror anthology movie. I mean, that's a good one too.
Yeah, I mean you can, and it's all intertwined. Body Bags, then. Body Bags are good.
Scare Packages, which we just recently saw.
Yes, great choice. I really love that one. Scare Packages was great. Don't worry about the noise, Rob. Here's why. Because it's 1 year in, and we still have technical difficulty with
it. So you're hearing it too. Oh my God. I wonder if the audience can hear it or if it's just us hearing it.
Oh, it's definitely us because no, it's definitely everybody because I am watching the program.
Oh no! So
can everybody hear that? Christina says, "I'll bring the sage."
Oh, that's what she thinks as it goes. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to switch to one more internet, and maybe it's me. I mean, I hope it's me because I can fix it.
Yeah, because every time you turn it off, it is you. It's all good though, man. No worries here. Okay, Ariel said she had her own movie, Siren. I had heard about that. I didn't see Siren. Is it good? I want to check it out.
Siren.
I have heard about it. I haven't seen it. And then she said, own movie for the VHS Preacher. Oh, so Siren is the VHS Preacher. So, oh, wow, okay. I want to check that out then, definitely. Because that was a creepy story. And Ariel says, yes, I can hear the ghost.
All right, tell you what. If I'm going to leave the stream and come back in and see if that helps.
All right. Yeah, just leave the studio. Don't end my broadcast.
I'll be right back.
Well, just like the Scene Snobs in the beginning, I'm solo again. Well, not yet. I guess he's still frozen. All right. So it's just me right now. And I still appreciate it so much that you guys are joining in and having conversations with us. Ariel says that Siren is worthwhile. It's on the list. I'll be watching it. Definitely, 100%. Let me make myself a little smaller so you can see my face. Or not. How does this work? Why are you doing this to me? And Christy says, what are some of the horror film posters that made the biggest impact on you? Artwork-wise, or even some that made you really excited to see the film or freaked you out? That's a fantastic question. And actually, I'm going to show you some. Because I do have, if you bear with me on a little movement here, my Jason Bourne movement. So this one for sure. Now listen, I'm not saying that I love the movie or anything. I will watch it because it's still Jason killing a bunch of people. This probably had the biggest impact on me as far as a horror movie poster. And I'll explain why in a second. I moved my Matthew Modine picture here so you can see it. This is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. And this is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. I'll put you back real quick. So, as far as horror movie posters go, I have to say that these are the biggest impact on me. And the reason they were is because, let me let Rob back in, and I'll tell him what we're talking about. Hey, Rob.
Hey.
So far, so good. So far, so good.
Oh, my God, it's worse. And it's not me. I was hearing it when I was backstage.
Actually, yeah. If anybody answers, let me know if it's still happening when Rob is not here. Was it still happening when Rob was not here?
Oh my God, it's getting worse.
Why are you killing me?
I don't know what I'm doing.
He's
What am
sending a ghost.
I keep trying to switch to different Wi-Fi's, hoping that'll fix it.
I don't know. It's not showing up now. It's.
No,
I think it's your. Yeah, you don't hear it.
I still hear it.
I don't hear it on my end. Does anybody hear it right now? Because I don't hear the sound. Oh, it's only happening for Rob. Ariel says. Okay, so as the scene snob and the guy not crackling in this video, I will continue with my explanation of why these two posters were so meaningful to me. The Jason New York one, that was one that got taken away real quick. But I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey, and that is literally right across the Hudson River from New York City. In fact, little known fact, the water, it's so weird, the water and the land that the Statue of Liberty is on that island belongs to Jersey City, New Jersey. It's the statue itself. It's very weird how they divided it up. That belongs to New York. It's very crazy, but that, you know, I grew up. There's a very long main road in Jersey City called Communipal Avenue, and the Statue of Liberty Island is considered one Communipal. Now, the reason I tell you this is because New York was like a stomping ground. Like I have friends there still. You know, I lived there for a little while. I did a bunch of stuff. So New York has always meant something big to me. Now, getting into horror movies early, Jason was kind of a big one in the 80s. So this poster was everywhere for marketing until it was told to be taken down. And then all over the country, it got taken down because they didn't want them using the I Heart New York sign. But it did not go away in the cities. It did not go away in New York City. It was in Jersey City. It was up everywhere. Because once they posted it everywhere, it was just there. No, we lost Rob. He'll be back. I have faith in him. Rob, use a tablet or a phone if you have one. Whatever you're not using, use something else. We'll try that. We'll see what happens. So that was a big one for me because it was like the first time I was really marketing for a movie. I was really aware of it. And for a horror movie, I'm sorry, Batman really put the. There you go. Hey, did you hear what I said?
I did not. I was hearing the entire thing. It just dropped me out.
Did you? Are you using your tablet or are you using your phone?
I'm using my phone. I could try switching to the tablet.
Try switching to the tablet. Let's just see what happens. Maybe it might be the device. So I'm going to mute you for a sec, though. So like that was a big one for me, horror movie wise, because that to me that was almost as big as Batman marketing was in that area because Jason was so big in New Jersey. He was household name, more so than I would say Batman at the time. But anyway, that's the one that I'd say is the biggest horror movie one, and I love it. I just love that poster. Like I said, I grew up around the I Heart New York's sign was everywhere. It was such a huge thing. So with Jason's face in it, that was a big one. Now, Freddy's Dead and Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, they were ones that I don't know what it was, but it was like all of the last like movies that before that kind of killed the series, the franchises, if you will, for a long time. They were the ones that the marketing really hit me with these posters and the trailers and stuff. So I hung them up. Like I mean I have a lot of posters, but I wanted to make sure I got these in 11x17s, and just because they meant something to me. And I worked I worked as a producer for a long time, and marketing was very important to me, especially after filmmaking. I got into digital marketing, and they were kind of inspirations of like what kind of lured me into horror movies that were coming out in the theaters and how big they could be and this, that, and the other thing. So, and just the impact, because whether you like the movies or not, they're very cool posters. They're very cool designs, which is often the case with a lot of movies. The posters will always, if the movie's terrible, the posters will always sort of just, they can always be better because like you have great artists doing them. So yeah, those are that really stuck out for me horror movie wise. I mean, there are a ton of ones like that I really enjoy. Of course, Halloween, the infamous Halloween with the pumpkin face and the slashing hand. I love that one. But yeah, those are the three that, like, you know, like I said, they had the most impact on me. So, but that was a great question, Christy. Going back to horror anthologies, though, we did just talk about scare packages, which is like horror comedy, but it's really well done. If everybody hasn't checked it out, you really should. There is a movie that came out, I think it was last year or the year before, Nightmare Cinema. Anthology-esque. Definitely interesting. I suggest checking it out. But one horror show we didn't talk about that was Anthology that I thought was really cool was Masters of Horror. I don't know how many of you have seen it. Let me know if you did or what your favorite episodes are. That'd be really cool. I will say Masters of Horror. I love the John Carpenter ones. The Cigarette Burns was a really good one, but they were not my favorites. Man, there's so many great directors in this show. And there was another kind of a cool one that came out. It was more toned down, and it was called Fear Itself. I believe it was, and I think it was an NBC show for a little while. So that was another cool one. Oh, Ariel asks, what was your favorite segment of ABC's To Death? I will tell you this. I don't remember ABC's To Death that well. I watched it. I can remember some good ones. I can remember things about some good ones. What was the one? I'm trying to think. Hold on. Let me add Rob back. He's come. I think you just, yep. I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it either.
But you're good. You're good though.
The camera's terrible.
Nah, you're good, man. You gotta turn your light on. Channel 0 is a good one. Ariel says Channel 0 is a good one. I'm gonna find out what letters from ABC's of Death from the ABC's of Death, because there was one, it was like a husband and wife, and I remember them in bed at one point, and but I remember it stuck out to me. I really can't figure it. Okay, I literally just watched it tonight, so I will judge you. so I will judge you. That's fair. I have not watched ABC's of Death since it came out. I should. Again, I really enjoyed the short form films in it. Christy asked, and I want to ask you, Rob. Christy asked, it's Orgasm. Oh, is that the one? That was a good one, I remember. Christy asked, what are some of the horror film posters that made the biggest impact on you? Artwork-wise, or even some that made you really excited to see the film or freaked you out? It's a great question.
So it's weird. One of the ones that sticks out to mind, and this is actually something that Ariel and I just talked about, All the Creatures Were Stirring. I really liked the look of it. It's a little Christmas ornament with like a little creature kind of sticking out. Yeah. The only thing that I hated about that is there wasn't actually a little creature in the movie, so that bugged me. But when it comes to posters, I like the Thing poster. That's a really good one.
A great one. Great one.
And there's just some amazing ones. But I used to collect posters a lot. Not so much now, but I used to. I think the only poster I have is Bloody Ballet right now, which I'd won there. But yeah, I just remember that's the one that sticks out of my mind for some reason. I just love the look of it.
I was telling them about the I Heart New York, Jason Takes Manhattan one, and Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Halloween 6, and how the marketing of that really stuck out to me. I think I was just at that age, and it was just kind of like those were the ones that really just like were there. Like, you know, I felt their impact the most. You know, and I think their posters had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
And their trailers for sure, but their posters especially, because I always loved posters. I always liked the idea when you would watch a TV show in the 80s and like teenagers had cool movie posters on their wall. And I was like, why can't I have cool movie posters like that on my wall? So like I think that's why I always ran out and was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to do this. So so we're kind of going back and forth with the anthologies and the posters, but that was a good answer.
Sorry, I'm trying to hold this. Keep it steady.
We're going to call you technical difficulties, Rob, from now on.
I mean, I don't. Maybe the iPhone's just not a great thing for the stream app.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, Lori does pretty good on it.
Yeah, and it worked for me last night too. It's weird.
Yeah. You gotta. Yeah. Just so everybody knows, this week Rob Paints the Movies on Thursday is going to be recorded. It will not be a live episode. Very special guest Christy Roy is on there. They both did such amazing. Well, we're not doing the guesses, right?
Huh? Oh no, it's not. So all of October, there's no guessing. Like I'll be up front and say, hey, I'm doing a movie from this, because we planned out all of October.
Okay. Well, so here's the deal. I'm not going to tell them what you painted.
Oh no, that's fine.
But I do want to say that it is from, and because I kind of want to talk about the 1 year anniversary aspect of it, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So they did two different paintings from the movie Night of the Living Dead. One of my favorites of all time, one of Rob's favorites of all time. And we love that movie, so we talk about it like crazy. The reason it means so much to me in the 1 year anniversary is if you go back, and it's up on YouTube, if you go back and you watch the first episode of the Scene Snobs podcast, which was the very first show on the Scene Snobs channel 1 year ago today, posted 1 year ago today. So if you go back and you watch that, we didn't do video. It was me, and I had a partner at that time. He did a couple episodes, and then we parted ways. He comes back on every once in a while. You see him, Casey Platt. So you'll see him on a show again. But he, at the time, we did the first episode, and we did not do video. I was always planning on doing video too for a YouTube channel, but at the time we did. We just didn't record. I think we did the second episode though. So, or no, we didn't. For a long time, I edited videos for all the shows. That's right. So anyway, long story short, too late. We get to we had like an hour and 32 minutes, I think it was, or something. So I took a free version of Night of the Living Dead and just laid it over the sound, the podcast. So while you're listening to the podcast, it's just Night of the Living Dead playing on YouTube. And that's that. So it's just like, what movie can I do that I love that I think works? And Night of the Living Dead was it. So, and then that's why Rob very sweetly offered to paint scenes from Night of the Living Dead, he and Christy in this episode. So it's a very touching episode. I love it. I love the artwork. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm not giving anything away. They both look awesome.
I will say, and this is not me being humble, Christy did such an amazing job to the point where I was learning so much just watching her technique. There's a lot of me like painting, and then there's a lot of breaks for me, and that's because I'm just staring at what she's doing and going, oh my God, this is so good.
But I will tell you, I mean, yours looks amazing, man. And give yourself credit too, because it really does look amazing.
My wife does not want it in the house. I will say that. She does not want it in the house.
I will happily. I have a place for it right there. I have a place for it. I have a place for it everywhere.
I'm definitely keeping it.
I do not blame you. I do not blame you one bit. I'm just saying, if your wife truly wants it out of the house, I'll happily take it off your hands.
The one I want to do one day is the remake of Night of the Living Dead, because as much as I love the Romero version, I do love the remake with Tony Todd a lot. I'd love to see the main character from that one.
It's such an awesome. Yeah, it's such an awesome painting. But yeah, that would be a cool one. I would love to see. I don't want to give it away. I know I usually have the don't spoil it. You can spoil movies if they're older than 2 years, but a lot of people didn't see that one, so I'm gonna kind of let that one go. And I'm gonna say this: it's different than it's not very different, but there are some very different turns in that movie from the original, and it had to be. It had to be that way to make it an original. So I would love to see Ben's face in that painted. I think that would.
Ben, putting both of them in there, it's just the main actor, and I don't remember. Did they ever give her a name? Or is it Barbara? Right? Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Stop it! You're ignorant.
They it's her throughout the movie just saying, I think we could just walk right by them, and then she just does.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, she just proves that the whole movie's futile. The whole movie.
Christy.
So Christy, I mean this wholeheartedly. Tell me how much you will sell that painting for. I don't care. It is so good. I would love to have that on my wall. Because that is the, oh God, it was just so good. But getting back to that movie, Tony Todd's performance, I know everyone looks at him as his quintessential hooked slasher, and I won't say his name because it's the 1 year anniversary, and I'm being nice. It's a better performance than that.
We have a rule.
His performance as Ben, I think, is his best performance in a horror role. I'm counting Final Destination and all that other stuff, but the way he plays Ben is just great. When he's like just looking at Cooper and just saying the meanest thing, you can tell he just wants to kill him, but he won't. Like, it's so good.
Oh, sorry, Rob. Christy said that she's going to give it to me.
Oh.
No, she says I will give it to you. So obviously,
I couldn't tell you how much I would love to have that.
You should give it to him, and then as soon as I get over there, I'll just steal it. I'll steal both the Night of the Living Dead pictures because they're both truly.
I don't know if you can see it, but way in the background, right there, and where that light is, that's where Lori's comic book is. I actually put it lit up so it gets prime real estate.
I just framed yours.
Oh, you framed mine?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't. I just put. I left it like in the bag thing for Lori's, but framing's a good idea now that I think about it.
I framed yours. So when Four Color Fantasies did their, which was an amazing charity event, and they had so many fantastic artists do artwork, including our friend and colleague and co-host, Mrs. Lori Havermehl. She did a fantastic Tank Girl cover. Rob did a fantastic Dark Reign Joker with the like gauntlet mask on his face and stuff. It's beautiful. And Christy did a ton of beautiful stuff that I wanted. All of this stuff. I bid on all of this stuff. One I really want to get for my wife that I just outside of my grasp because I did not bid on it when I needed it. Was a Wonder Woman painted like window. Like it was almost like a glass.
I remember that one. Yeah.
And it was like a Wonder Woman with her fist up and the bracelets, and she painted it. It was lovely. I kept bidding on it, and then like the last 2 days or something, I forgot to do it or something like that, and I missed out on it, and I was so bummed. But it was truly beautiful. Ariel says, "I know Christy is ridiculously talented. She absolutely is. Fantastic artist." She prefaced it with "laugh out loud," which means Latin teachers ought to love. love it.
I was a Latin student,
teachers.
not a teacher.
I just got it as I said it. I'm a simple man. I'd sing the song, but I don't own the rights. The only thing I can get is Night of the Living Dead. The only thing I can afford
What
is
else is public domain? There's got to be other movies, right?
Tons. I actually had an idea, and I'll say it on here because it'll be recorded, and then nobody can steal it. Actually, plenty of people can steal it. I wanted to do a horror host show, kind of in the vein of Svengoolie or Monstervision and stuff, called the Monster Diner, where the setting is like a diner where monsters hang out, and it'd just be a bunch of people in costume, and then there would be like 3 main monsters, and they would host the show. The main host would be like an adventurer type, almost like an Indiana Jones type, hanging out with the monsters that he's met along the way. And he would just host old public domain movies. Like, I thought that would be an awesome idea.
Yeah.
I've never done anything with it. So now I'm sure plenty of people will steal it and whatever. No. I like the idea. No, I have like 3 people who watch my show, and I trust them, so I don't think they're going to steal it. They would just prefer to be on it.
When you were talking about the diner, do you remember the show Beetleborgs?
Yeah.
Do you remember how it was the ghost, but he also had a mummy and a werewolf and a vampire in the house for some weird reason? The whole I'm thinking you should just get like those old costumes. I know someone had to have thrown them away, and then there you go. There's your monsters.
I'm going to challenge it a little bit, and mostly because with some news this week, our beloved, and I have figures of him everywhere. He is truly beloved by, I know, myself and everybody else who's watching and on the show, Rob. Rick Moranis, please speedy recovery from that piece of garbage that hit you. I wish I was on the street that day. I wish I was walking down the street that day. I would have crushed this guy. And if you are watching, I will crush you still if I see you, because Rick Moranis is a national treasure, and he's not even from this nation. And he's still a national treasure. So many Canadians are a national treasure here, though. I mean, Michael J. Fox, Jim Carrey for a time. We shouldn't have people's sexiest men alive. We should have America's greatest national treasures that are Canadian. And we vote on that because, like, Ryan Reynolds, I mean, it just is what it is. But to go back to that, do you remember Rick Moranis' Monster High? It was in the 90s. It was a cartoon. It was a very short-lived cartoon. And it was Rick Moranis as a cartoon who took a teaching job at a high school in Transylvania, and he was teaching all like the big monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, all them. He was teaching their kids in high school.
So I remember there were some dolls that were called Monster High. I don't think it was the same thing.
Not the same. This is way before.
Yeah, I'm sure I would have seen it because back in the 90s, I mean, I would watch that. But yeah, I can't vividly remember it.
I screwed up. I don't know why I remember Monster High. It was Gravedale High. But it was still Rick Moranis. It was still Rick Moranis as a teacher, but it was called Gravedale High. Sorry. I think it was on NBC, Saturday mornings.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to tell you that. See if I remember it.
I don't know why that popped into my... Well, because of poor Rick getting hurt this week. So I will say this. There's some other news today that came out. Very sad. Eddie Van Halen passed away today. And I just wanted to say rest in peace to him. Yeah, that's I don't. That bothers me. I'm a Van Halen fan. I'm a Van Halen through. Like, I liked Van Halen all the way through.
Are you a bigger fan of the David Lee Roth years or the Sammy Hagar years?
I loved Van Hagar. I did, because I love Hagar, but I love Hagar on its own mostly. But yeah, I mean, David Lee Roth, as much of a showman as he wasn't the better singer, but he brought like a spark to Van Halen that was just like paramount. You know, like it just brought. I think it. I would be bold enough to say that they brought hair metal to a new level, if that makes sense. So yeah, that just, I don't know. I just.
I mean, we've lost a lot of people in 2020.
So many people, so many of the wrong people. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, we say that every year. Like, there was those 3 years that we lost one of the members of the Golden Girls every single year, and we were terrified we were going to lose Betty White the next one. But yeah, I definitely feel like in 2020 we've just lost some amazing talents that it's just awful. Some of them to COVID and a lot of them to cancer. Just
yeah. Another big loss today was Johnny Nash, just saying "I Can See Clearly Now," which is one of my favorite songs.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he passed away. He was 80. I don't know what he passed away from. I didn't read the article, but I saw all over that he passed away as well. And it's sad, man. It really is. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Yes, but we are on our 1 year anniversary. So rest in peace to them. But we appreciate you coming back. I want to kind of uplift a little bit. So Rob, before we talk about some of our favorite things, I want to get you've been on since March, man. I think March 4th was our first show.
No, it was definitely so. Our first show together would have had to have been before February.
Really?
I think so. When was the wrestling?
The first week was John Carp. Oh no. Yes. You were on. I meant as a bona fide, you were a co-host.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, I think you're right.
Yes, you were guest on the show actually a few times before that, because you were on the 20-Minute Wrestling Podcast either 2 or 3 times before that. And I often forget the 20-Minute Wrestling Podcast exists. I know it's so bad, but
I ruined that for you because we would just start talking and it would never be a 20-minute podcast. It would be an hour-and-a-half long podcast.
It was, oh man, yeah, it really was. It was fun though. I mean, I enjoyed doing it, and if wrestling wasn't going in the way that it was, I would, let's keep going. But I don't know. Len and I have talked about maybe doing a sports show though, so we've been kicking around that idea. I know he really wants to do one, so maybe we will. You'll never
talk about the foosball.
Talk about the foosball. The fantasy foosball.
Which I'm doing terrible in this year.
We started, I really think it was March 4th. I was going to go back and look. And the reason I say that, no, I'm going the wrong way. So, it's so funny. Yes, it was March 4th because it was that Wednesday. Because that Tuesday, they showed The Thing. And you went and I didn't because I had one of Tommy's basketball games I had to coach. So we did John Carpenter Appreciation Week on the Scene Snobs that week. And our first episode of Behind the Box was just you and I at the time. Look how much we've grown even on Behind the Box, just Behind the Box. We did that first episode and it was all John Carpenter. And you revealed that you don't like Halloween or The Fog.
I don't. I really don't.
I immediately regretted the decision of letting you be on the show. It was so much funny. It is amazing to me how many people we lose, how it shows you up top there. You know, like we had like 5 or 6 viewers, and then we went down to 1. But you know what? It's a Scene Snobs. It's 1 year. We can talk about whatever we want. I don't care. So yeah, so we did that. So a little bit of reminiscing. So you've been on the show. You've been on Scene Snobs as a host the longest. You know, just in length, and yeah, that's about it. That's all I was gonna say. So thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mary, I think. I mean, besides you, Mary's been on way longer running podcasts, right?
Yes, like working on it. Yeah, absolutely. But like doing a show, because we stopped doing. We've done a couple, but longevity of shows, because we haven't been doing Marriage Like That podcast or American Movie Challenge in a while, and it's really comes down to her success. Truly deserves success for the cookie company, for Kimball's Cookies. She's doing fantastic, and so she's just busy all the time. She put up those pictures of the Halloween cookies, which if any of you watching or listening at a later date, go check out Kimball's Cookies on Facebook. She put up the Halloween cookies, and orders just flooded in. She was so worried about that too.
I loved the little Frankenstein one that she did. That was my favorite of the ones that she made. I didn't have any for Halloween, but I've already booked a reservation for Christmas, so I've got that in the back.
And you know the awesome thing, because it's kind of like watching you. Watching Christy, like following you guys on social media, any artists, and Lori, definitely. Lori's a fantastic artist. Watching all of you guys when it comes to art and what you do astounds me. I have no discernible talents. Trust me. I know. No, don't feel bad. I had this talk with my son.
I don't feel bad.
I had this talk with my son.
I don't agree.
I don't know. Everything I have is skill-based. It's not talents. I have trained myself to do the things that I need to do to succeed where I want to succeed. And I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think some people just don't have talents, and I think that some do. Now, I saw what you were saying last night about, like, anybody can paint. Now, maybe that's true. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it. And maybe I could. Maybe if I practiced, I could paint. I cannot paint like you guys. And the reason being is because there's a look, there's a talent there. Now, can anybody pick up a skill? Absolutely. Anybody can learn to play the piano. Anybody can learn to paint. Anybody can learn to draw. But you're not going to have that. You're going to miss that thing, that talent. You know, if you don't have it.
So when I look at, I can't say this, I'm just getting into painting for a second. I didn't have it. I wasn't a very great drawer at all. I just started and it was just practice. It really is just practice. And I noticed, and the one thing I will say is you kind of, you know how like artists, even directors in films, they have like a style and aesthetic and things like that. You kind of develop that. Because I've looked at some of my earlier stuff and it's nothing like it is now. It's not that it's better, it's just not the style. I genuinely believe, and I mean this, if you put your mind to it, you definitely could.
I agree with
because she didn't used to make a lot of cookies, she said, but she just started doing it more and more and more. And I will say this, her cookies have always been great, but they are phenomenal now.
But that's why I give Mary a lot of credit. Here's the thing. I think that was her talent. I think she, you know, everybody has a talent except for me, which is completely fine. And I do not have one. I've been searching forever. I do not have one. Maybe my talent is that I'm pretty good at building up skills when I need to. If I really try hard, I can build up skills to be successful. But the talent side of things, like that was the thing with the cookies when she started doing the cookies. She busts her ass. She draws everything out in her sketch pad to all of her ideas. Now, you know, I'm not saying that like they're perfect drawings or sketches or anything, and she wouldn't say that either. But she would absolutely, she absolutely plans everything else she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even like with the Fern Gully, perfect example. When she made the Fern Gully ones for you. She watched the movie like 3 or 4 times and was planning on like which characters would be fun to do. What can I do here? And then plan out like what's happening in each or scenes or whatever she was trying to get. And she does that with everything. She does that. She did that with, she'll look and see other people's cookies and say, okay, what can I do that is kind of like that, because I like that design, but can stand out too. And she does. She knocks out of the park every time, I think, just like you guys do with your paintings and such. It is like you guys. It's a true talent. I love it. I respect talent like crazy. But yeah, that's all I have. Go to Kimball's Cookies. They're the sponsor of the show.
I do, it took me so long to like eat the cookies because I didn't want them to like go away. And I know they're cookies; you're supposed to eat them. But I'm like, they're so pretty. I don't want to ruin this one. Batty stayed around forever. That was such a good one.
Yeah, I liked Batty a lot. I liked what she did with Batty. So I watch so many artists do this stuff. It's so crazy to me. Like even writing, I would kill to have a talent at writing. I've just worked at the skill for it to learn, and then I watch then I'll see writers write something. I'm just like, you asshole. It's like it just comes so naturally. But it's crazy. I have such an insane respect for her talent.
Going with that and talking about a movie that we both just saw, did you identify with the main male character in Scare Me then?
No.
In the beginning part, not the end part. That's not what I meant.
No. I identified with her.
Okay.
Everything she was saying from a writer's standpoint in that movie, she was right. She's like, that's what writers do. They observe people. They write notes. Some people may not, you may be in a room filled with people and like you're looking around and you're thinking about things and you're thinking about who the different types of peoples are, and you want different personalities in your stories. And that's how you're going to know different personalities. Like, I used to sit down in like cafes and stuff and just listen to people. Just listen to people talk, and I would just write down ideas. What would this person be like if they were stuck in this situation, this, that, or the other thing. And like when he snaps and he's like, that's his idea. And I was like, it's a title. I completely agreed with her. Like, it's a title. You need to let this go. But there are a lot of writers who are subpar writers. And the reason being, and here's where I start pitching. The reason being is because they don't take the time to learn how to write. They automatically think they know how to write. They'll read a book and they'll be like, oh, I know how to write. And it's like, I can do this. And it's like, man, I started going to screenwriting classes and creative writing classes and everything else in high school, because high school offered those things up. And then as soon as I was out of high school, I was in different screenwriting classes, playwriting classes, all types of writing classes, a lot of creative writing classes for years and years, and that never ends. I still do seminars. Skyline had a seminar with 2 writers, screenwriters. I went and I signed up for it and I listened to it. There were other ones too that are free all the time during COVID that I just sit and I listen to and I write down my notes and stuff like that. There's never a point where I'm like, I'm done. I know more than them. Or that I should ever stop, because there's always something you're going to hear. You can disagree with somebody who's teaching you 90% of what they say, but you'll still get 10% out of it where you're just like, I didn't know that, and I didn't think about that, and that's awesome. And that's why I just like, I agreed with her. Like at first, I thought the story was going someplace different. I thought they really got me with a lot of things. I thought it was going to be her. That's how she became successful. She had the tangibles of a good writer in the movie. She represented a good writer well. And he represented somebody who could write well. Like, he had some tangibles. But they really showed him for not having a creative mind in writing. Because, like...
Yes. He to me, it was almost like fan fiction versus real fiction. Like, he was the classic fan fiction writer. And he wanted to be that. The only thing that I didn't like about her character was that it didn't seem like she was trying to help him and add suggestions. It was just pointing out the problems initially. It was like, oh, here's a problem, and not like, hey, maybe you could try this instead. No, it's just, here's a problem. And professionally, I hate people like that.
No, but here's the thing.
I liked her by the end.
I will tell you, writers in a room together, that's how it is. Because other writers don't want to hear, well, maybe if you think about it, like they want the problems pointed out. Well, how are you going to fix this? Because she was guiding him too. It was actually very good. That's why, as it went on, I was like, okay, she's not stealing ideas. In the beginning, I thought she was coming over to steal ideas because of the way they kind of played it. And then as she was going on and she was guiding him, like, well, what happens next? Okay, well, what's this werewolf doing? You know, and then like when she would go, she's like, I have every detail down. And I'm coming up with every detail as I go. But she was taking it from personal experience. He was not. He was just like, there's a werewolf and he does this and he attacks the mom. And she's like, well, no, think about the details. Explain it. How does it sound in the room? How does this? That is, if you're a writer, you should be appreciating other writers doing that for you. Not belittling you, but pointing out like, no, well, what does it sound like in the room? What does it smell like? Was it, it may be a book, but we can still, you want to be as descriptive as possible. And so that's why I thought it was a good representation. It's actually funny you mentioned that because I was going to write a review on the movie. And it still am. But I need to rewatch it. This is not many times has that happened to me where I need, before I'm willing to write a review, I need to rewatch a movie. And that just means that I liked it even more. There's something there that I may have missed that made me really love the movie. I just, like, in my mind right now, I really liked it. Mm-hmm. But I wanting to go back so soon after and rewatch it, I know there's something in there that'll make me love it.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting one. And I knew that guy from College Humor stuff. Like, so I've known him as a comedian. He's actually a really, really talented voice artist. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, this is going to be funny. And it was a little bit, but not really. Like, he plays a hard dude.
He wrote and directed that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So he's I was looking it all up, and he did a great job with it. And I liked how, as they were going on, what she was doing was working. Because he was becoming more descriptive without needing her to nudge him.
Right.
And then I think, but he's a crazy human being. And they set it up pretty well. Like I said, I need to rewatch it. Because there is something in there that's going to make me love it, but I need to kind of remember it for myself, I guess. That makes sense.
No, it does. I was actually thinking about a different movie that you love that I don't like. I was thinking about Mandy today.
Which one?
Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing. I feel like I'm not a part of the cool kids because that movie doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like, everybody that I know in Winchester loves that movie with a passion. I don't know where it lost me. And I was really trying to think about it. Like, why can't I be totally all in on the Cheddar Goblin? Why can't I, like that stuff? And I was really thinking, and let me just ask you this. Did I get it right? That movie's not very fun.
Not fun at all.
I think that's my problem. With movies in general. when you really like looking at the movies that I say I didn't really enjoy, there's not fun in there. Like we talked about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fun in that movie. Very serious, well done. Not saying that. I think I just like fun stuff. And no, but I think that's what it was. Like when I was really thinking about it, I'm like, why can't I do this? Like, why did I love Color Out of Space and I didn't like Mandy? Like, how could I love Mom and Dad? Because it's all Nicolas Cage stuff. And I was really thinking about that. I think that's what it is. And even The Fog, not that much fun. And Halloween isn't fun. Halloween becomes fun. It becomes very hokey and very corny, and they kind of turn Michael Myers into more of a parody of himself than actual scary figure by the end of the series.
Yeah.
But that's why I think I liked it because it was just fun. And like Friday the 13th was always hokey and corny. I mean, they would always try to do humor bits and things like that.
Yeah. Well, like Ariel says, I don't love it with a passion. Beautiful. It is a beautiful film.
It is. I will.
But she says it's not Hardy, and that's where I would disagree with Ariel. My feelings on the movie are it is a simple movie, but the tale of conviction versus conviction in your Lord versus conviction in your love sticks out to me, and just it just hit me over the head with a hard mallet. You have this cult leader who is doing nothing but speaking of his God. And now everyone should be in on his God. It's all about conviction for him. Everything, there should be nothing but conviction from his followers for him and conviction for God. And then you have this simple man who just, the only thing he lives for is his wife. And when she is violently ripped from him, you see that conviction come out. Like, I am going to punish you for what you did. You took the only thing, so I'm going to take everything from you. And nothing can stop him. They throw everything at him, and nothing can stop him. Even in the end, when his conviction staring conviction down, and he turns around and says, "Oh, what do you want me to do?" And he offers to suck his dick, which a lot of people would look at that line and be like, "Oh, come on, this is stupid." But it's literally a man begging for his life, giving up every sense of conviction in his life to what do you call it? Man who will not waver, will not bend. This man is dead, and he's going to burn his church to the ground. Something about that stuck with me so hard, because it's true. Like, if something happened to my family, I am going to burn through everybody and everything to make sure that they die. And I understand that feeling. So when I watch this movie, I'm like, yeah, I get it. But Brian Patrick says, and Skyline Indie Film Fest says, no interest in Mandy. Well, I feel like you're missing out, sir. It was my favorite movie of 2018.
I do think it was pretty, and I'm not doing that. I'm not pretending it's not. I can see the positives of it. I didn't have fun watching it, and I guess that's it. You know, for me, it's like, and this is an extreme example. Schindler's List, an amazing film, incredibly well acted. I will watch it one time, and I will never watch it again.
And that's fair. Yeah.
And it's not a movie. It's just. Nope.
Ariel is correct. The soundtrack and cinematography do make it a serious play serious. That is absolutely true. It's fantastic cinematography and soundtrack. And then she goes, when you have a chainsaw massacre at the end, it feels off. I feel like you needed that level of violence, though, because that was the level of violence they were throwing at him. So he needed to match or be greater in his level of violence.
it almost, I feel like they got inspiration. I know this seems like a stretch, but just hear me out. They almost got some inspiration from The Running Man, in that it was the main guy who everyone loved, and he was throwing like these different types of killers at Nicolas Cage. One of them like the chainsaws and things like that, and he just wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop and wouldn't stop. That's the feeling I got towards the end of the movie. Like, not in a hokey way, but just like it was kind of like that. I also got a hobo with a shotgun feel to it as well, like that end scene.
It's funny.
That's a fun movie. It's a sad movie, but that's a fun movie at times. Like,
I hate Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh,
I hate that movie. In every aspect of that movie, I feel and I'm not against violent movies. Mandy is perfect testament, but that is a movie that lacks every aspect of a story.
I think it's charming.
I don't know.
When I first saw it, I was with you.
And it's fine. I don't care if people like it. I've always hated that movie. In fact, if you go back and read my review of that movie, it is scathing. I hated that movie. And I've tried it again.
Were you there for the 35 millimeter experience?
I absolutely was not, because that movie is dog shit. In my eyes, I hate that movie. And I want to say thank you to our friends over at Skyline Indie Film Fest, who we love. Always remember, November 1st, Skyline Indie Film Fest is going to start taking submissions for next year's movies. So make sure you submit your short films or your feature film or your scripts or anything else. Indie filmmaking. Let's bring it to Winchester, Virginia. And congratulations to our friend Billy Ray Bruton from Scripts Gone Wild, who is now the co-director of Skyline Indie Film Festival with Brian Patrick. So we're very excited about that.
Cool.
Well, first of all, Brian's just an awesome dude. I get to do Pulling Focus with him all the time. We are actually interviewing this weekend, this Friday. We're interviewing the director of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jack Stolder, is going to be on the show. So we're doing that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we got just a ton of fun stuff that Brian and I have planned, just to even like work together, which is going to be really cool. So thank you for the happy anniversary, sir. And he also asks thoughts on Bubba Hotep. I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. I love Don Coscarelli movies. Well, anywhere, anytime, anywhere. And especially that.
It was okay.
Why do you hate Bubba Hotep?
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. I wanted to see the penis. Like, they talk about it throughout the entire movie. Yes, you gotta. You can't talk about that and never show it.
I feel like I didn't want to see it.
I liked everything about the movie except for the CG of the mummy. I did not like the CG mummy parts. I was like, they could do practical. They could just do totally practical.
I forgave it. I mean, for the time, you're right. You're not wrong. But I still love that movie, and that's why I think I forgive it.
But I like Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell in it. I really did. And I like the JFK thing. I thought that was kind of funny. But it was, I don't know. It was just okay. I had fun watching it. I didn't go to the PC showing, but I was watching it at home at the same time. So, I kind of felt like I was a part of it, and it didn't speak to me. But I love almost everything else that Bruce Campbell's in, including Burn Notice, which I was very sad got canceled.
Did you ever? Well, they did finish it off, though. They gave it a true ending.
They did.
Did you ever see My Name Is Bruce?
Yes, where he plays himself, kind of, but he's also like the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. He also, but that's the thing. Like, I like Bruce Campbell in general, so I'm gonna enjoy his performances.
Well, yeah, I thought that was a good one where he's like a trashier version of himself, trash human being that just they think is a hero. I always thought it was funny.
So getting back to Bubba Hotep, your take on it. Was he actually Elvis or was he not?
I will always believe he was Elvis. I will not believe that Ozzie Davis was JFK. Not for any other reason like of that. I like the idea that one of them was and one of them wasn't. And that his best friend was somebody who was saying he was somebody who isn't. And that's what marks him to like kind of question himself at times, but also making him the actual Elvis, I think, is poetic in a way. So that's why I always choose to believe that he was, and Ozzie Davis's character wasn't. And which is such a great, because Ozzie Davis was such an amazing actor. When I hear Bubba Hotep and Ozzie Davis in it, I'm just like, I don't know what happens that Ozzie Davis is in that movie, and I'm not against it or upset by it in any way, shape, or form. But I'm just like, how did you do it? How did you pull this off, Don Coscarelli? He's the mayor. He's the mayor from Do the Right Thing. I mean, he's been in so many amazing things. But anyway, yeah. So Bubba Hotep, I always love. That's a go-to for me. That I just truly enjoy. Now we've been we're going a little long in the tooth.
A little bit.
Which I don't mind. We're having a good time. And I just want to send out a thank you to everybody who's watching tonight and who has been supporting us for the whole year. It has been truly amazing. One thing I do want to talk about, because Rob and I are going to be back tomorrow night live at 7:30 p.m. with a little show we like to call Behind the Box. Now, we are talking creatures of the night. We're talking vampires, werewolves, witches, ghosts. Those entities, if you will, those monsters, another thing we could say, that constantly show up in the horror genre. And we want to talk about why they keep showing up in the horror genre. What is it that we love about them that we, in an overall theme? And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of some of our favorite movies in there, too. But our movie staff pick came from me last week, and that was Blood-Sucking Bastards. So if you don't know how it works on Behind the Box podcast, we pick a movie, one of us picks a movie to watch, and then we take that week, we call them staff picks, and we take that week and we watch the movie, and then we analyze that movie at the end of every Behind the Box show. So we'll do our general talk, our main topic, and then we analyze last week's movie. So Blood-Sucking Bastards, which is available on Amazon Prime, is the movie. I have a personal connection to it because I work with an improv group when I lived in Los Angeles called Dr. God. Truly outstandingly hilarious group that I'm thankful every day I do these guys. And they were the ones that made this movie. I was unfortunately out of Los Angeles at the time, but they were very cool about it. I was in constant contact with them when it happened. So I have some fun stories from it. But I love this movie. I love them in it. They're the stars, and it's a great time. So we will talk about that tomorrow. So make sure you are watching Behind the Box tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. We'll be live on the Scene Snobs YouTube channel, Behind the Box Facebook page, and the Scene Snobs Facebook page. You can watch it and comment along, of course. Now, we did record this week's Rob Paints the Movies with special guest Christy Broy. Rob and Christina did a great job. The movie trivia was fantastic. They painted paintings, 2 different paintings from the movie Night of the Living Dead in honor of our 1-year anniversary here at the Scene Snobs channel. So make sure that will be up and you can watch that. I will be at a movie that night, so it will be up a little bit earlier than normal time. I'll probably be up around 6 o'clock.
Oh, are you going to be at the same one I'm at?
I 100% am going to be at this movie, and that's why I'm saving it. I'm just going to say, watch the showcase 9 p.m. live on Friday night. I have the Key 13 guys there. We're going to talk about their show Terribly Awful, which I'm a guest on this season, and I'm very excited about that. So they will be on the show at 9 p.m. Now, getting back to one of my favorite movies of all time that Rob is finally going to see for the first time on Thursday. The Last Dragon. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
So I'm not just going to see it. Violet's going to see it too because she's never seen a kung fu film before.
Nice.
So
It's a good one. That
I'm gonna take her to it. I don't know if there's sex scenes in it, so I'll have to cover her eyes if there are. But yeah, I am looking forward to it, specifically because Faye built up one of her favorite villains being Sho'nuff, and I'd never heard of this person before. And I looked him up, and I'm like, oh my god, why does he have glowing red hands? I have to know why.
the same reason that Bruce Leroy has glowing yellow hands.
I got to find out, and I really want to see it. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Skyline Indie Film Fest says Bruce Leroy for life. Absolutely, he is the chosen one, dude. It is such. I love this movie. So there's a streaming service called Pluto TV. If anybody doesn't know about it, it's a really awesome free streaming service that has tons of channels. And one day, hopefully, you'll see the Scene Snobs channel on there. But they have this cult films channel, and they show awesome stuff all the time, 24/7. And they've been showing The Last Dragon a lot lately. And I watched it like 4 times last month. And I'm still going to see it this month. So that tells you how much I love that movie.
Really am looking forward to it.
Don't go in there thinking you're going to get this movie that's so truly amazing. Like it's a truly taken serious movie. Like there's a lot of parody in it.
I saw what the main villain looks like. I'm going into it assuming there's going to be some humor. I mean, he's definitely an over-the-top character.
100%, but he works perfectly. He's such a great villain in it. He's an evil villain in it. So he looks ridiculous, but he looks ridiculous in a way that you would see in the old school kung fu movies.
No, he definitely. I mean, he doesn't seem out of place. I wasn't going in expecting the Street Fighter. I was not going in expecting that.
No, not at all.
That was an experience. I'll say that. Saying that for the first time.
I think if you just open your mind to it, I think you will truly enjoy it.
Am I about to start the reactor? Open your mind, Quaid.
Fair.
I'm excited. Violet's going to be too. She doesn't even know she's going, but so I'm just going to have fun. Apparently, there's some cauldron milkshake that I have to try out.
Yeah, I saw Faye talk about that on thing.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a really fun. It's going to be a fun time. And then I think I'm going to go back on Friday for that Wolf of Snowy River or whatever. That thing looks good.
Okay, I will get the title right just for anybody watching. It's called The Wolf of Snow Hollow.
Hollow. Oh,
the trailer for it looks truly brilliant. I reached out to the actor today and asked him if he wanted to do an interview. Actually, I reached out to quite a few directors over movies I watched over the course of the past few days, and they all seem pretty excited to do the show. I haven't booked all of them. Some of them may overlap in November, but man, I'm excited. There's gonna be some fun stuff.
I am really excited. I know we're talking about the fact that isn't a lot of good movies coming out, but there's a lot of good horror movies that are coming out. Whether they were filmed years ago and they're just finally putting them out on theaters or what, I don't know, but there's been a lot of good horror that's come out lately.
Well, first off, I have to say Brian's, because the actor's name in The Wolf of Snow Hollow is Jim Cummings. And he says Jim Cummings is hilarious. He is. If you've ever seen Thunder Road, check it out. Well, Jim Cummings is a very good actor if you check out Thunder Road. But I want to ask, do you know Jim Cummings? And if you do, can you get me an interview with you? I am very excited to talk to him. I'm very excited for this movie.
Action.
It is, yeah. Brian, can you do this favor for me? So I'm super excited for it. I think I guess he does know him because he says I can ask. Yeah, that's why I love you, lady. Well, that's not why I love you, but there's a whole myriad because you're a great guy. But that was a very sweet thing. Hey, Tina Marie. If you haven't checked out her podcast, you should definitely go on and check it out. It's a psychedelic podcast, and she does a fantastic job with it. She's a great spirit. So check out her podcast some more. I will post it on Scene Snobs social media. But thank you for joining in and watching. I appreciate that. So it's been a wild 1-year ride of the channel. Rob has been along for most of it. So I'm very excited for that. And I don't know. It's psyche. Yes, I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. But I will make sure that I put in the description. I'll put a link to your show, the Psychedelic Podcast. It is a very good show. So, you know, I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of very cool people. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tina Marie. You know, that is awesome of you. Thank you. So I'm very excited for everything that's been going on lately. All the amazing interviews I'm getting, you know, it have been truly fantastic. And just so much going on. Like, I feel like, and we got so much going to be happening. We have more shows planned for the new year. So we're going to be like a bit of a travel show. They're all not going to be podcasts. They're going to be some of them will be videos. Some of them will be podcasts. Some podcasts will be changing up things a little bit in terms of fun stuff. And we're going to probably be getting some more hosts soon. So hopefully you guys are ready. I appreciate that. And thank you, Tina Marie. Yes, 1 year. It has been crazy. It's been a crazy journey, but it's the start of something. So like I said, I want to get to many, many more years. So, and thank you to my dear friend Rob. Oh, you guys are killing it. Never stop. Thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. I had such a fantastic time. I love all of my podcasting friends, like Tina Marie, the Con Guys, Ride the Omnibus podcast from Ariel. Go listen to a fantastic podcast, and you're going to learn things on that show. I listen to that show, and I'm smarter every time I'm like done with the episode. And I just truly appreciate her and all of her help. She and I are going to be doing a live, I forgot to mention this. We're going to be doing a live discussion panel this Sunday on the Scene Snobs channel on Facebook, and it's going to be on YouTube. We're talking about problematic horror movies. So we have some great guests that are going to come on. We will announce them soon. But yeah, we're going to be talking about problematic horror movies and things like that, different aspects of it. And I am just so happy to be a part of it. I know I'm going to learn a lot. Yeah, just great panels coming on. I don't want to announce anybody, like I said, just yet, but it's some very fun stuff. You guys are going to love it. So yeah, make sure you listen to Rod Down the Best podcast. Make sure you're listening to the Psychedelic podcast. Tina Marie is great. Make sure you're listening to the Con Guys. The Con Guys are awesome, and they also have the Scare Guy podcast, which is a very cool and horror-oriented. Make sure you guys are checking out the Canned Air podcast. Those guys are fantastic. I had them on the show last week. I know I'm talking a lot, but there's so many fun people, and I will make sure to listen. And the reason I'm bringing them up is because I'm going to be maybe teaming up with some for a special event soon. So it's still in the works, so we got a lot of stuff coming. New shows coming in 2021. Stand by, but not like the idiot said. Stand by as in let's have fun and enjoy it. You see how crazy and off the rails it goes? That's very oh yeah, Tina, you're gonna be talking to yes, the Con Guys. I'm gonna be talking to them soon, and I just played Jack in the Box with Canned Air. I played. Rob and I did too. I was a guest on the show, and Rob did. He played Jack in the Box with them too, and we failed miserably in that show.
It was terrible.
They're so much fun. Those guys are so much fun. The con guys are so much fun. These are guys who, guys and girls who I discovered by joining groups. Steve Joyner, who's a publicist, he kind of brought us together, and I love their shows. I'm just enjoying it. Ariel's a good friend and ride the omnibus. I'm telling you, your IQ will go up if you watch the show. So, Rob, if you want to tag out anytime, I fully understand. I just can't.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening to everything you're saying.
So many amazing things. All right, I'm getting tired. Yes, Randy and Jack are fantastic too. Everyone is so great. Everyone is so different, and I'm happy for y'all. 1 year is so big. Thank you so much. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. She just got done playing 5 minutes ago, and I know that because I have it up and I didn't watch them because I want to support.
Breathe. You need to breathe, man. You're gonna pass out.
Dude, after a year, you would have thought I got better at this. You would have thought I was a micro machine guy. So yeah, there's just so many awesome things going on. I am so excited, and I can't announce them yet, but I'm like want to because I'm terrible at surprises. But all the new show ideas for 2021. But we're going on 11 o'clock. You got work tomorrow. I can't keep you up anymore. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It has been a fantastic year. I am just filled with joy and warmth and so much more, and I just appreciate all of you. So until next time, we're going to go. I'm going to play out my wonderful Mutant Fam, which is a collaborative that I belong to, and make sure you check out on Twitter, #MutantHalloween. It is a 24-hour marathon going on Halloween. There's so much stuff that I am hosting, as well as the rest of my Mutant Fam. So I will be hosting Fright Night that night as part of their 24-hour marathon. More details on that coming soon if you guys are interested. I am no Jim Carrey. I'm going to get us off. I'm going to play some commercials. Thank you all for joining, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Night, everybody.
Welcome back, Uncle Living Dub. Welcome back, Video Creeps. What up, you guys?
What up? Welcome to my channel, Video Creep. Make sure you hit subscribe.
We're going to go over this one time and one time only.
Hey, everybody, have you heard the news? Joe Bob is back in town. Joe Bob is back in town. Joe Bob is back in town.
Hello, internet fans. Do you want to learn about horror movies that you never knew existed? Do you miss the video store but not the late fees? Then join us at 3B Video, where we talk about stuff like this, and this, and this. If you'll excuse me, I've got some videotapes to return. You like Huey Lewis in the news?